What are you going to use this recording for?
It would like to put the video of it on the Sixpence Games YouTube channel and the audio of it as an episode of my new podcast, Invasion of the Pod People.
Nice. It's a good name.
Thank you.
I'm glad I shaved.
And the first episode... The first episode of that came out yesterday and features an interview with Brian Patrick O'Toole, who's here with us today.
Nice.
Who you may know. Sorry, what?
I said nice continuity.
Yeah. You may know as a screenwriter of Evolution and Basement Jack, among other things. So I'm particularly interested in hearing your opinions about this story structure and stuff of the story that we're going to be creating together today, because the point of this game is basically that we will collaboratively write a horror film, and it's specifically intended to have the structure of a horror film as opposed to like a horror novel or something like that. So
okay.
And so the way that we'll do that is this is a role-playing game. So each of you is going to control one of the protagonists of the story, and I will control the antagonist and be the person who primarily controls the setting. But you guys will also be able to affect the setting, and we're going to collaboratively create the setting together as the first thing that we do in the actual mechanics of the game.
Okay.
So the setting and the characters in this game are defined by a thing called tags, which are short descriptive phrases. Like for a character, tags might be like promising young mathematician, or I have a pet dog, or I always carry my Winchester rifle in the back of my truck. Things like that. These are not meant to be a complete exhaustive list of all of your character traits. Instead, they're meant to be a list of the character traits that you want to have come up in some scene in the movie. So it's just the relevant ones. And similarly, there are tags that define the setting, like the abandoned quarry, or the only diner in town, or the creepy mayor, things like that.
Okay.
So you're going to need something to write with. Pencil and paper works great. I'm going to use a text document. Any of these things are good.
Okay.
Before we begin creating the setting, I'm going to give a brief overview of the rules, and then we'll dive into it. So if you have a copy of the Quick Start rules, which I think all of you do, right? The PDF?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. If you look at starting on page 5, that's where the moves start being defined. And the moves are sort of the core mechanic of the game. The name of each move is a short phrase that when your description of what your character does could plausibly include this phrase, then you activate the move, which will involve making some decisions, rolling some dice, and then making more decisions. Investigate is for when you want to find something out. Face peril is when your character is in a situation where they could plausibly die. Encounter true horror is for when you are in a horrifying situation. And then the last section is revelations, which let you reveal things about your character or the setting. And this lets you either develop the character or develop the setting and, continue your character's arc, things like that. I'll go into more detail about how all those things work when they arise during the game. So if at any point you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt me and ask them. And if you don't have any right now, we can go ahead and begin with creating the setting. So the default assumption for the setting is that it is an isolated small town somewhere. Perhaps it's on the coast, perhaps it's in the middle of farmland and their nearest town is 50 miles away, perhaps it's in the desert. Anything like that. It's just that important that it's the sort of town that's small enough where you pretty much know everyone else there. So, when and where would you like this to be set?
I like small southern towns, like near the Mississippi, like
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
because they have a lot of history. I don't know.
Sure. All right, small town on the Mississippi. What time period are we thinking? Most often is 20th or 21st century, but it doesn't have to be.
Well, if it was in the past, it would limit a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So
We can do the
I don't know.
present.
Yeah, it can be the present.
Yeah, we can do present.
Present's fine.
Okay. Small town on the Mississippi, present day. All right, so that doesn't actually have a mechanical effect. That's just there to give us the like a consensus idea as to what the setting is going to be for us all to build off of. So the first question that has a mechanical effect, which will give us a town tag, is what is a local landmark? Gain a town tag like the abandoned quarry, or the statue of the beloved town founder, or the only diner in town.
What about a closed down paper mill?
That works for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Second
Okay.
question is, who is someone that everyone in town knows, or at least knows of? Gain a town tag like the gregarious dean, or the slimy mayor, or the quietly intimidating crime lord.
How about the washed up scream queen who used to be in slasher movies and doesn't have work anymore?
Sure.
Sure. Local celebrity. What is for the third question? What is a group that at least a sizable portion of the town despises? Gain a town tag like the corrupt police, or the Ivory Tower University, or the biker gang with hearts of gold.
Mm,
That's a good one.
tourists.
Yeah, because that could be both positive and negative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
there's something about the town that draws tourists, and everyone who lives in town hates them.
Yeah.
Well, that would go to the landmark, wouldn't it? Why would they come to the town? Because the town would have to have some kind of landmark that people would go to, whether it's a cave or it was where, one of the wars during the Civil War was fought. What war battles?
Yeah. And we're not
Or
quite
an
there
old
yet.
graveyard that
Dates back to the Civil War.
that dates back to the Civil War. And then there's an anniversary coming up.
Ooh.
150-year anniversary coming up.
Oh, okay. That works great with the next question, which is, what is something that your town is obsessed with? Gain a town tag like the Crosstown Sports Rivalry, or the annual Harvest Festival, or the stories of cryptids in the woods. And so, for example, the 150th anniversary of a Civil War battle absolutely works for that.
And there's a curse attached to it, like sort of a witch's curse, where the South will rise again. And so people are gathering, like when they all went to Stonehenge to see, the anniversary. So something's going to happen in this graveyard, maybe famous graveyard or something, or the return of the South or the Confederacy or something to that effect.
It makes
Now
me
I'm
think
thinking
of.
it's gonna be 1001 Maniacs
I was going to say 2000 Maniacs. Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever it's
Well,
called.
that's they didn't they eat people in that movie?
They did, yeah.
Yes.
But they were
The
talking
Civil-
about the Confederacy coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civil War ghosts.
Yeah.
People. It's a great movie. Um,
So okay, but
Or it could be a group of tourists where they're visiting a well, if it was in the South near the Mississippi, there that could be voodoo area. New Orleans, so maybe it's a group of people who are going to this famous cemetery, a voodoo cemetery or something, and then the townspeople warn them not to do that, and they don't listen.
right.
Well, that's why you don't like them. They're tourists. They never listen.
Exactly.
Right, they never listen, and then they have to deal
Like,
with whatever they
yeah.
conjure up.
Yeah, like same thing happened 50 years ago when we had the 100th anniversary. Tourists came through, went to the graveyard and did a bunch of stuff. Our grandparents had to solve that. Now 50 years later, tourists have come back.
Yeah. The for the fifth question and final town tag, we repeat one of the earlier questions. It's so for instance, we could gain a second landmark or a second group that people in town despise, etc. So for this one, it sounds like this graveyard that you guys have been mentioning sounds like a plausible second landmark.
Well, the thing is that they put up the paper mill where the graveyard was.
Ah, okay. So
Okay.
it's a single location. All right.
Right, because isn't that what you want? Isn't it? Because we've already established this washed-up actress, local celebrity, the paper
Right.
mill.
So you
so
end
that
up with
could. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
you end up with 5 town tags, and there are 4 questions. So for the 5th one, we repeat one of those 4 questions. So you'll end up with either 2 landmarks, or 2 people that everyone in town knows, or 2 groups that everyone despises, or 2 town obsessions. So you could have 2 landmarks and have the paper mill be one and the graveyard be another, or we could say that the paper mill was built on top of the graveyard, so it's only a single one, and instead we have 2 of something else.
Right. So the town should have a Van Helsing character where, you're all doomed, a crazy Ralph.
Okay.
And maybe now that we're thinking about it, the local celebrity or the washed up actress, maybe they're tourists, but maybe there's a documentary crew.
Like the last tag being a documentary crew there for the anniversary, and the washed up actress, of course, wanted to be, in it to revitalize her career.
Okay.
All
yeah, I
right.
like that.
Cool. So documentary crew here for the anniversary. Awesome. And then the last part of the setting creation is what is a rumor that your character has heard? This doesn't necessarily have to be true or false. I'll decide whether it's true or not. It's just something that you've heard.
And this is another group one, or just for each?
For each of your
Okay.
characters. So 3 total.
Well, I think the obvious. Well, maybe it's a some kind of jewelry or medallion or treasure that's been rumored. An amulet that tells that I don't know. I'm not sorry. I'm thinking out loud.
No, that's all right. That's a lot of what this game is.
The rumor that I have heard is that someone is going to try and mass poison the tourists at this gathering.
Ooh.
The one I've
Who would
heard
go?
is the paper mill was actually closed down by the government because during the logging, they came across the Fook monster, which is the Bogey Creek monster, like a southern type of Sasquatch. And the government didn't want this creature being known, so they just closed it all down to protect the creature and create and turn it into a military asset.
Okay. Is the Fook monster like a
It's a real. Well, I mean, it's real, but it's a southern Sasquatch thing from Bogey Creek. Bogey Creek.
oh, interesting.
I didn't know that the exact name offhand. I just looked up Southern Sasquatch because I wanted a crazy conspiracy theory.
All right.
But I have seen The Legend of Bogey Creek, and you can skip it.
Oh, I was just
Really? It
thinking,
has a really good scene where the guy gets killed in the toilet, or the
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a
it's
good.
it's parts of it are good, then parts of it are just terrible.
Well, it's a creature of its time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's that
Wasn't it
false documentary. It's like remember
yeah,
the Sun
Lakes-
classics, like Chariots of the Gods and stuff.
Yeah,
The old, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I kind of
and
I
it's
like its
like
style.
70s, early 80s, cheesy.
1972, according to
Yeah, Creek of
Yeah.
the
All right.
Legend of Boggy Creek was like very early 70s.
Cool. Well, I'm interested in watching this at some point.
I
Okay.
did miss one of the tags. So I have the closed arm paper mill, the local celeb like Scream Queen,
Mhm.
the 150th anniversary of the Civil War graveyard thing,
Yep.
and the documentary crew,
And the last one is the tourists.
the tourists. That's the one I missed.
So all of these town tags are wild tags, which means that you can invoke them to help you out if you think that they'll come in handy, and I can invoke them to make things harder for you if I think that they'll get in the way of whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Okay.
So we've got 2 out of the 3 rumors. Someone is going to try to poison the tourists. The paper mill was closed down because the Fook monster is haunting it. And Brian?
Oh, there's a mysterious. There's supposedly. I kind of want to use the paper mill thing. I'm trying to think. Well, that something mysterious was underneath the paper mill, and that's why it closed. They don't know it's the cemetery maybe yet.
Oh.
So it's hidden. Hidden.
If people don't know that the cemetery is there, then what's drawing all the tourists?
It could be a so the graveyard has like since it's southern, it would have all the Confederate soldiers buried there, all nice and neat, and the past town residents. The graveyard underneath the paper mill could just be like a mass graveyard that they threw any Union soldiers into, because
right. It doesn't have to be an
several
established
people.
graveyard.
Yeah,
Ah,
okay.
just a graveyard.
It's just there's bodies underneath the paper mill, and the spirits are making the paper mill. It could be like at the Mangler.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to be super pedantic here because I like doing that. Is this a graveyard or a cemetery? A cemetery is like any sort of burial ground. A graveyard is specifically attached to a church. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it would be cemetery.
Okay. So
It's
there
a
is
mass grave.
Yeah. Okay. So
You did that the
there's-
last too.
that's one of my favorite little like pedantic word things.
Mhm.
All right, so there's a mass grave under the paper mill is the final rumor. All right, so we've created the town, and now it's time to create your characters, the protagonists of this story. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to go through a bunch of questions, and I'm going to ask you each the questions, and then you're going to write down your answer to it, basically, as a tag. You're going to end up with 5 positive tags, which are things that can only help you, 1 wild tag, which can go either way, and your choice of 1, 2, or 3 negative tags, which are things that can get in your way and represent like weaknesses or character flaws or just ways that the world is set up that make things harder for your character. And the reason why you might want to have more negative tags is, well, there's a few reasons. First of all, just because the more flawed a character is, the more human and interesting they are. And the way that that's represented mechanically is that whenever one of your negative tags is invoked, you gain a humanity. And once you have 3 or more humanity, then you can make the reveal something about yourself revelation move, which lets you develop your character either by revealing something about them from their past that hasn't been part of the story yet in like a flashback or something like that, or by showing your character develop and change in some way. And that lets you gain another positive tag. So let's start. The first question is, what have you trained for the most in your life? Gain a positive tag like 7th generation farmer or promising young mathematician or Golden Gloves boxer.
I'm going with history teacher.
Damn it.
All right. Did you also want to be a history teacher?
No, but I had professor of archaeology, a retired professor of archaeology. So, okay, never mind. Keep going. I come to me last.
My character has been training as a travel agent, and is the head of the, the only member of the tourism board for the town. So traveling.
Okay.
Is local historian too close to Sean's?
There can be 2 history people because I'm not.
No, I don't want to. No,
because I'm more of a conspiracy history. Like, I always throw in the this is what actually happened to my class, not real history.
I'm gonna be the how about the town priest?
Sure.
Okay. The
Sweet.
town.
Before we go any further in this, another thing that's not in the quick start rules but is in the full version of the rules is bonds. And what a bond is a way that your characters know each other, and it's represented by a wild tag that both of the characters who have the bond have the same wild tag, and you can only invoke this wild tag if the 2 of you are cooperating to do something. So for instance, if both of you are, you could have like we're both members of the local history club or something like that. And each of you can create a bond with one other character, one of the other ones of you 3. And so you will, on average, end up with 2 bonds, one that you created with someone else and one that someone else created with you. So if at any point you hear something that somebody else says about their character and you think, hey, that makes me think of a way our characters know each other, then feel free to suggest a bond. There will not be like a specific question to prompt you to create the bonds. You just gotta notice opportunities.
Okay.
I don't believe that we invoked those like at all last game, so I'm going to try and remember to do that this time.
Yeah, it varies a lot from game to game how often they come up, which I kind of like. It creates more variety.
Yep.
Sure.
So the next question does not directly give you a tag. Instead, it determines what the two next questions that you ask, or excuse me, that you answer will be. So which do you value most? Wealth, knowledge, or power? So come up with the answer, and then who said wealth? Anybody? Nobody? All right. Who says knowledge? Okay. What is something?
So
Oh.
sorry. No.
What is
Do
something?
you need somebody to take those? Because I'll take knowledge.
No. It's totally fine for more than one person to pick the same thing. You do need to pick one of the three, but
Mhm.
I've had games where everybody picks a different one. I've had games where everybody picks the same one. It works no matter how that goes.
I'll take knowledge.
Okay, so everyone who said knowledge, what is something you already know a bit about and want to know more about? Gain a positive tag like obscure geography facts, or astronomy enthusiast, or this weird old book I found. So I believe that was Brian and Sean.
Yeah, I'm going to go with this weird old book I found just to fuel my conspiracy theories.
Okie dokie.
I know the real history of the paper mill.
Okay.
Let's say the secrets of the paper mill.
Secret history of the paper mill.
Paper mill.
Got it. And then John, I'm assuming you picked power on account of
It's the last one left.
Right, exactly. So you haven't always used your power for good. What's one time you regret using it? Gain a negative tag like I don't know my own strength, or I'm quick to anger, or I've made enemies.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. I'm just thinking of this character on the fly.
Yeah, that's the idea, is that you come up with this on the fly. So, for example, since you're the head of the local tourism board and the tourists are disliked by a lot of the locals, maybe you piss people off by organizing some event.
Okay. Could I just make the tag like disliked by the locals?
Sure.
I think that'll probably come into play all the fucking time.
Yeah, probably.
All right, sure. Disliked by the locals.
Okay. So the next question is for the people who picked knowledge. So Brian and Sean, knowledge cuts both ways. Someone learned something about you that you would rather they didn't. What was it? Gain a negative tag like unbeknownst to me, someone saw me do a hit and run, or paranoid delusions, or I'm being blackmailed.
Yeah, I'm definitely going paranoid delusions.
All right. Any particular subject matter?
History. Most because I rewrite it to fit whatever narrative I want. Just mishmashing actual facts with jargon that I've made up. That's all like anti any government. Doesn't really matter what type of government. I'm just anti it.
Okay. And Brian.
It would be something like suffering from claustrophobia, or I'm trying to link everything to the paper mill.
Okay.
So I'm like, so knowing that something happened at that paper mill, or I was there, because I imagine, this is just how my mind works, that if there's paper mill that was built there, the town probably sprung up from that. You know, it was like there was nothing there, and then they built the town around the paper mill because that's where everybody worked.
Yeah.
But the
All right.
building that the paper mill, this is all the top of my head. The building has a history before it was a paper mill. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was there when that happened. Like maybe knowing about the cemetery.
Yeah, so the history of the town, as I'm imagining it, is there was a battle here, which resulted in a lot of dead people who were buried in this mass grave, and then at some point after that, people built a paper mill on top of the mass grave, and then the town sort of sprung up around that. So maybe there was there has to be a reason why there was a battle here as opposed to somewhere else. Which I mean could be as simple as just there's a fording of a place where you can ford the river near that, and so it caused the two different militaries to come into contact there. And then the paper mill was built on top of it, and so something happened, but like presumably the paper mill was built like 100 years ago or something like that, right?
Right,
because it was long enough ago that the town sprung up around it, and then the paper mill went out of business.
Right, and all of this has nothing to do with what you're asking me. It's like I don't know what to. Like I was thinking like negative things were like fear of spiders, claustrophobia, sensitive to light, stuff like that. But you're saying it has to be what? Well,
so this specific question, and you can totally bring up claustrophobia as an answer to one of the later questions.
Oh, okay.
But the idea with this specific one is that we're going to like sort of create another NPC that I can use. And so I'm imagining that, for instance, Sean's character might come into conflict with another local historian because Sean has these paranoid delusions about how history works that don't line up with, the accepted timeline. And so I'm so you're the town priest. You could say, for instance, that I don't know, you wanted to consecrate the ground that the paper mill was on, and the owner of the paper mill thought that was a dick move and didn't want you to do it, and so you have conflict there, for instance.
I just keep thinking of The Fog, which is not a good thing. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that.
The movie The Fog?
The movie The Fog, remember the pirates were coming for the gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Pick something. Give me an idea.
Okay. Well, so first of all, we don't necessarily have to answer this right this moment. We can come back to it later if something more occurs to you.
Right. Next.
All right. So this next question is for everyone, and this will determine whether you gain another negative tag or not. So have you been more of a risk taker in life? If so, there's a follow-up question, and if not, we skip the follow-up question. And the follow-up question is, what is the biggest thing that went wrong in your life because you took a risk, or something that stopped you from going as far as you wanted? Gain a negative tag like permanent limp or serious debts or someone has a grudge, or, for example, claustrophobia. Maybe you went into the paper mill and fell through some rotted floorboards and were trapped in the basement of it for an entire day, and now you have claustrophobia.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Okay. Next.
I'm going with I'm not well liked in town because of my wild theories I keep using for my history class. It always derails like every state test that they're given. It's like I'll tell the class the War of Independence was actually fought because the lizard people that controlled Britain were fighting the space aliens that controlled the colonies, which is obviously true.
Of course. Birdie just messaged me and just woke up and would like to join late if that's okay.
Sure. Oh.
Sure.
No.
They can join, they just can't play.
Yeah, you have to. Wait, no, that's Mario Kart. Wait.
All right. And John, did you want to gain another negative tag? You're muted.
Did we skip the second part of power for me?
Yeah, he didn't get to do his
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So for power, all that effort's been paying off. What have you been doing? Gain a positive tag like weightlifter or police detective or authority in your sub-community.
How about like government backing, and that my travel office is like official, and I have, tax dollars allocated to my department to attract tourism.
That makes sense to me. And that would also make sense as to why locals dislike you, and because it's pretty common for folks in that sort of small town to dislike the government.
Yeah, great.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. What was your tag?
Government backing. So I run the travel agency / tourism board, and it's officially backed by the local / state government. So I have some funds at my disposal.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to set up a bond with that I come in conflict with you on a regular basis. Not over anything substantial, but because I keep pushing my history, which is often in opposition of what you're trying to put forth with your tourism. It's like, come visit us for this historical thing. No, that's not what happened. You should tell the truth. So I like put in pamphlets that are that I print up myself for people to read that you constantly have to take down.
Sure. What is your character's name so I can write this down?
James Andrew Early. And I like to note that I am related distantly to the Confederate General Early, again, to fuel my paranoid delusions, because I'm not.
Okay. And John, what's your character's name?
My character's name, I wrote it down. Where is it? Jubilation Boone.
Nice.
I like it.
Jubilation is like my favorite name ever.
And Brian, does your character have a name yet?
Yeah. Father Barnabas Rex.
All right. Okay. So John, did you want to gain does Jubilation have another negative tag from the something going wrong in your life because you took a risk?
Sure. We'll say a fear of flying. In that, despite the fact that I am a travel agent, I have only been on an airplane once, and it was a near crash, and I am terrified of getting on an airplane / helicopter or anything else and traveling myself.
Okay. All right. Next question is for everyone. What is something you're good at that people might not guess? Gain a positive tag like chess master or barroom brawler or former sailor.
Jubilation is an expert in dueling, be it pistols or sabers.
All right. Sort of historical reenactment sort of thing.
And specific to dueling as far as the rules and weapon selection and the customs in addition to the actual fighting.
Sounds good. Now, do you say... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just going to ask a sort of trivia question. Do you say Father Barnabas or Father Rex?
Would be the first name, be more friendly. So Father Barnabas.
Okay, Father Barnabas. All right.
Barney.
Cool. So James and Father Barnabas.
I'm let's see, I'm trying. I wanted to say something like, I'm more athletic than you would expect. Like,
right.
I can.
Yeah, that works right there.
Like, I'm almost like, okay, we'll leave it there.
You can make it specific if you want, but that works as it is already.
Okay, that's fine. Let's
see. Trying to give me a second. I forgot to think about this one. How about I'm a local hiker, so I know the surrounding area well.
Sure, hiker. Okay, so now your final opportunity to gain another negative tag, although remember, Brian, that Father Barnabas has another negative tag from the somebody learning something about you that you'd rather they didn't know, that you still need to go back and answer.
That's what I was going with the athletic. Like I know I'm more streetwise than would be expected. Like I could pick a lock.
Okay.
Like, why would a priest need to know that? But all
right, so maybe like a criminal background or something like that, and someone knows about it?
No, because he's a priest, or is he? But for right now, he's a priest, so he wouldn't expose that.
Right.
Hidden past, maybe?
Yeah. Can I say something like that? I didn't know. Yeah. He's not who he seems, so.
Absolutely. We can, and then.
But I didn't want to give too much away,
Yeah. Well, so the way that'll work is there will be times where I think, okay, for this situation, maybe your hidden past will come into play, and I'll invoke it. And then depending on how you roll, maybe it doesn't actually end up affecting things, or maybe it comes to the forefront, and then we need to explore it a little more in that scene.
Okay.
So, I believe we left off with, has anything else gone seriously wrong with your life? If so, what is still afflicting you? Gain a negative tag like the Innsmouth look, or discriminated against by bigots, or cursed.
I was going to go discredited. I used to be an actual I used to teach history at an actual college, but now I've reduced myself to more like a
local high school teacher.
Well, for the college, I used to teach at like one of the Ivy League schools.
Ooh.
But now due to my views on history, I'm now reduced to teaching high school at a small town in the South.
Okay. Do Jubilation or Father Barnabas have a third negative tag?
Yeah, I'm haunted by a pretty significant past event,
Okie dokie.
and I'm trying to resolve it.
Okay.
I guess, which anybody would, I guess. Okay.
My mind's just not working this morning. I'm trying to think of what are some other examples that I could do for this.
Ex-stripper? No.
Good.
And you don't have to answer this one. This is optional. So you can just say that the two that you already have are the negative tags you want to go with.
Okay. And it's just something else that's gone wrong with your life.
Yeah.
Let's say that he is divorced.
Okay.
That's good.
Definitely something that's gone wrong. Okay, next question's for everyone. What is a connection you particularly value? Gain a positive tag like my parents with interesting jobs, or my pet dog, or my drinking buddies.
And it has to be a person, like an NPC, not a place, or can it be a place?
That's an interesting question. Sure, it's usually intended as an NPC, but we can make it be a place. Why not?
Okay. I'm envisioning like a very well-stocked travel agency office that has, high-speed Wi-Fi and is, one of the only signs of modernity in town, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
James and Barnabas?
Yeah,
I'm thinking being a priest, I would have to have something, where I would have solitude and confessional, like bearing my soul to some ornament, like a cross or something. I'm trying to think.
Okay. Well,
where it's sort of I'm talking to myself, but I'm not.
Okay.
Like I was thinking like some kind of statuary or something.
Okay. This is intended to be one of the purposes of this question is to create more non-player characters that I can bring into the story. So like it could
I got it. I'm very, very, very friendly to the town. I'm sorry, I went blank. To the tourist leader, the person, the information, the librarian. Okay, let's the town librarian.
Okay. Yeah. Friendly with the town librarian.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going with I'm actually liked by my students because my classes are entertaining because they could just go off on so many tangents all the time that they actually find it entertaining.
That sounds good. And then the final positive tag, the question is, what is your favorite thing about yourself? Gain a positive tag like good dancer, or I always have something useful in my bag, or my analytical mind.
I was going to go with I have a massive personal library for research that covers a really wide range of topics to support my random theories I come up with.
Sure.
I thrive in a me against the world kind of environment. So like I'm trying to think of a succinct way to say that, but I like natural underdog.
Sure.
I don't think I believe what I'm preaching.
Oh, and that's your favorite thing about yourself?
Oh no, my favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I should pay attention.
I do kind of like that.
It is my favorite thing about
Yeah.
myself. I don't believe any of this.
You're scamming local
yeah.
suckers out of their tithes.
I'm curious. My curiosity.
Yeah, all right. And the last question, which gets you a wild tag, is what is something you like about yourself that some people consider a character flaw? Gain a wild tag like, I know I'm gorgeous, or I'm the life of the party, or I'm convinced I'm the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. Usually I try to go off not use the examples, but yeah, I'm definitely going with I'm convinced I'm the smartest person in the room.
I would like to be gregarious.
Sure.
Me again. I am. I am very. I don't say friendly. I am very compassionate. That's my favorite thing. That I.
Okay. And Sean created a bond between James and Jubilation. So John and Brian, you two still need to create a bond.
Yeah, I was thinking of one actually that how would Father Barnabas feel about renting out his church space for tourism events?
Yeah, so I could keep an eye on him. Sure.
And it'd be an extra way to shill the locals, get a little bit of extra cash out of them.
Yeah.
It's a large open space that's perfect for welcome meetings and tourism gatherings, all kinds of stuff.
Which I'll often crash without paying the fee just to spout off my local history knowledge.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the word.
And Brian, you should create a bond with either James or Jubilation.
I think with James, because we have spirited arguments.
Okay.
And it's like keep your enemies close kind of attitude. Like I don't want him figuring out
that you're kind of a fraud, that you're there to like hide your past.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So I got to keep him on the run.
All right, and that's all of the character and setting creation done. And now we're going to take a short bio break. You can go get yourself a drink, use the restroom or something, and I'm going to finalize the mystery premise in my mind, and then we'll resume and get started.
Was Birdie still going to join in?
Looks like not. Didn't reply to they asked where we were in the process, and then I responded, and then they didn't respond. So
okay,
I guess not.
Because if they wanted, they didn't have to join and just watch. That's not.
Yeah. I'll let them know.
Well, they can watch this after we're done recording it.
Yeah.
That's also true.
No.
Okay. I am going to go use the restroom and finalize the mystery in my mind, and we'll resume in a few minutes. Bye. It is a few days before the 150th anniversary of this Civil War battle, and tourists are already streaming into town, bringing their tourist dollars and their obnoxious Yankee ways into your previously idyllic small town. And some of the locals are happy because they're spending money, and some of the locals are annoyed because they're outsiders coming here and judging folks. And in preparation for the upcoming, celebration in a few days, Jubilation is already leading tours of, among other places, the old paper mill, which... So, sorry, did we establish that it's not... Is it common knowledge or not that the paper mill was built on top of a cemetery?
We didn't establish it.
Isn't that why people
we were
come here?
batting it
Yeah.
around.
All right, I'm going to say then you're so yes, it's at least widely believed, whether or not it's strictly established, and so you're going to give a tour of that, and you have a little like checklist of names, and of the people who are supposed to be on the tour, you've got like 8 out of 12 of them with 4 of them at least 20 minutes late. So while Jubilation is getting ready to give this tour, what are the rest of you doing?
I'll be part of the tour, disguised. I have a hat on and I have a hoodie, so obviously I can't be recognized. Just so while he's giving the tour, I can chime in with the actual facts. I've also given a fake name so that he can't spot me.
All right. And Father Barnabas, what are you doing?
I'm giving a sermon to the people trying to stay out of the chaos. Just they don't want to be a part of any of this. So I'm just sort of...
All right. So are you giving a sermon to the locals or to the tourists?
Locals.
Okay. What's the subject of your sermon? God knows all our secrets. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Jubilation, it's at this point it's at least 20 minutes after everyone was supposed to be here, so you're just about ready to declare that the folks who are missing are just not going to get to go on the tour. And you can head down to the old paper mill. Would you like to give a soliloquy about the history of the paper mill?
Absolutely. And it is a crying shame that the folks that are still asleep in their beds will be missing this part of the tour. It is one of the many, many highlights that this town... Did we name the town?
We did not name the town.
What's it called?
Ravenswood.
What's it called?
Ravenswood?
Ravenswood.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, that works. It implies there's a forest nearby.
One of the many highlights that the town of Ravenswood has to offer. And I will talk about the unique construction of the pieces of paper themselves, and let everyone know that they will be coming away from this tour with a genuine sample of the paper that was produced at this mill, free of charge. And I will continue to talk about how the paper mill itself was a big controversy for it to be erected on the cemetery. And the reason that it covered the cemetery is that the locals just didn't like to look at that morose reminder of their ancestors' failings. and they wanted to keep honoring their ancestors, but not be reminded of it every single day. But so we turned it into a paragon of industry that lasted for quite a while, and I'll just keep blathering on about nonsense.
That sounds great. James, do you want to interrupt any of that and try to set the record straight?
Not yet, because I do see the pass as a failure. Not because my ancestors fought on the side of the South, just because we actually fought. And he didn't mention why the. At least I don't think he mentioned why the mill was closed down. Otherwise, I would correct you that it's closed down because of the connection to the Fuchs monster being sought by the government to be weaponized in the next war against the crypto lizards that live under the live underground.
I will eventually get to the part where the reason why the paper mill was closed is that people just don't use paper anymore, and I will pull out
and
my
that's because of the aliens are forcing us to use technology that will no longer be saved in a format that could be seen in the future.
All right.
What did you say your name was there, friend?
Abraham Booth.
Very interesting. I don't happen to have an Abraham.
I adjust my fake glasses. I'm sure you do, but it's probably removed by the government trying to silence me again.
So, as the two of you are arguing about the veracity of the Fuchs monster and the potential reasons why the paper mill has closed down, you come to the room in the mill where you'd previously put the stacks of paper that were made in the mill some time ago, so that you can open it up and give everyone the sample that you mentioned. And however, when you open it up, you are greeted by a grisly sight as you see the shredded remains of the tourists who were supposed to be on the tour with you but were missing, who have been rended limb from limb, and all of your paper samples are splattered with blood. Those of you who are there need to encounter true horror. So the way that this works, for Encounter True Horror, you take 2 6-sided dice and roll them, add their numbers together, and you add the amount of horror that you have accumulated so far. Because this is the first time you've encountered True Horror, you have 0. So you roll 2 6-sided dice and add 0.
7.
6.
We were supposed to bring dice? Someone's going to have to roll for me. I don't have any dice.
You can roll dice using Google if you need to.
Oh, you can? Oh.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can say like roll 2 6-sided dice and it will do it for you. So one of you got a 7 and one of you got a 6. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Cool. So both of you, because you encounter True Horror, you gain a horror. So mark that down. And the one of you who got a 6, you also gain a foreboding. So mark that down. And John, you're the one who got a 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you look at the 7 through 9 results range on Encounter True Horror, you'll see that there are 3 options there. And you should pick one of them. And you'll notice that 2 of them have a circle next to them and one of them has a dot. The one that has a dot, you can pick anytime that you roll this results range. It's unlimited. However, the ones that have circles next to them, when you pick one of those, you have to mark them off. You put a little checkbox in the circle, check mark, I mean. And then you can't pick that option again until you recover it. And in fact, the way that you recover it is by picking the dot option. So the dot is in general worse than the circles.
All right. Well, since I was in the process of reaching into one of the bags of paper, I'm front and center and notice a something useful in the fear, some kind of clue as to what caused this or the context.
Yeah, you there are some clumps of fur caught on like an exposed nail in the woodwork.
What color fur? Like what?
Brown.
Brown fur. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it look anything like what my conspiracy theorist friend has described his Fuchs monster having? Instead of curiosity.
It does.
Huh. Well, I will immediately take a step back and try and shield the tourists and say, "Oh, nothing to see here, friends. Looks like paper mill's closed right now. Yep, they're. I mean, does it look like anyone else saw this from the tourist reactions?
Yeah. You managed to shield a few of them, and like there's a mother who immediately clamps her hand over her daughter's eyes, and the daughter doesn't spot it. But there's a few people who do get a good look at what's in there, and somebody screams.
And it doesn't help. My character immediately points his finger and goes, "Government agents!"
Are you pointing at someone in particular, or
at the two bodies?
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, people are kind of like, some people are trying to maintain their composure, but most people are freaking out.
Just a trick from the local conspiracy theorist wacko James. You're not welcome on this tour. I keep telling you that.
If he was here, I would support him in saying that.
I'm just
discredit him and the local history.
And I'm going to pull out my phone and start calling the police and say,
okay,
there's a troublemaker here.
I'm going to start taking pictures of the bodies.
Yeah. You call
later.
You call the police, and excuse me. Jubilation calls the police, and James takes some photos of the body. Meanwhile, back in town, tell us about the speech that you're giving to the locals, Father Barnabas.
Well, as I'm giving the seminar and I'm about to give communion, one of my parishioners notices blood trickling down my arm, on my hand.
Oh no! What happened?
Not sure. It's I cut it somewhere.
Oh man!
So I have to excuse myself, and I have one of the other townspeople, take assistance to go clean it up. And as I'm cleaning it up, I hear that the police have been called. I see one of the fire trucks being called to the paper mill. So it's in my duty, I think, to go there and see what's happening.
Yeah, you arrive and are prepared to give spiritual comfort to the people at the mill, and it looks like they could use it, because the tourists who are here are thoroughly freaked out. There's like one edgy goth teenager who's into it and thinks it's cool that there's dead bodies on this tour, but most people are pretty upset. They're like, we wanted a wholesome celebration of a battle where hundreds of people died a long time ago. We didn't want to see dead bodies. That's disgusting.
This is just a trick from some of the locals here. You know us xenophobic Southerners, that they like to scare the tourists every now and then. And I'm just trying to convince them that it's a trick.
I'm going to point out some of the more grisly aspects of the killing to the teen. Like, see that? See how that limb was severed? That was done with a high-powered saw of some type, maybe a claw that's very sharp.
I'm going to throw a rock at James.
Are you two going to get in like an actual physical fight
No,
over
like
this?
not a large
No.
rock, like a pebble,
Yeah.
just to like get him to leave.
Or shut up. Or actually shut up.
But I catch the rock because of my athleticism, and that's when they notice my blood on my hands.
Oh, yeah. You have a you're bleeding as though your arm was scratched in some badly scratched in some way.
Right.
The police arrive and are investigating and trying to figure out what's going on. Obviously, the people are thoroughly dead, so the firefighters who arrive and were prepared to, provide emergency medical assistance don't actually have anything to do because you can't save somebody who's been torn limb from limb, and who knows how long ago. Now, is there anything that you guys would like to try to learn in this situation?
Yeah, I was actually gonna. While the police are still getting there, and I was taking pictures and pointing these things out to the team, I was actually going to try and ascertain what exactly did dismember the person. Was it like a weapon of some type, machinery, or was it an animal?
Sure.
Of some size.
Sure. So, is anyone else going to try to assist James Early as he tries to figure out what's going on here or what caused this?
Yeah, I would definitely
Okay.
want to do it because,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So the way that this works is, James, since you're the one who said you want to do this investigation, you are the lead investigator, which means you're the one who's going to be rolling the dice and making the decision as to what option you pick after you roll. And Father Barnabas, because you are assisting, you need to pick either one of your positive tags or your wild tag or one of the town tags that you think is relevant to this situation. And Sean, James can pick tags as well. Between the two of you, you can pick at most 3 tags.
Okay. I was going to invoke my wild tag of I am the smartest person in the room. So obviously I will know what did this.
I'm going to invoke was it compassion?
Yeah, compassionate, your wild tag.
And we need to get those bodies out of there as fast as possible. So I think we should bring them back to the church.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am going to invoke your paranoid delusions about history, negative tag, because that's going to make you more likely to come up with a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And I'm also going to invoke the tourists town tag as a negative, because there's a bunch of very upset tourists around you who are making it more difficult to get a good view of what's going on and to concentrate, because when people are screaming and crying right next to you, that makes it harder to concentrate. So because I invoked 2 negative tags, the both of you gain 2 humanity. So go ahead and mark that down.
Okay.
And you guys invoked 2 positive tags, or rather wild tags as positive tags, mm-hmm. but same thing. So you get +2 from those, -2 from what I invoked, so a total of +0. And so Sean, you should roll 2 6-sided dice for James Early's investigation, add them together, and let's see what you get.
That is an 8.
Okay. So because you got at least a 7, you do in fact find a clue. So what is the question that you're trying to find the answer to?
I was wondering about what actually dismembered them. The person, was it machinery? Was it a creature?
Sure. So you're able to tell that um, the way that the bodies have been torn apart and stuff, it doesn't look like they were cut neatly with a saw or anything like that. It looks like they were torn apart in some manner. And Brian, because Father Barnabas assisted on this and James Early got at least a 7 on the result, then you also find a clue. So you can ask a follow-up question.
Okay. Was there any strange the wounds weren't done with precision, right? They were still like scratches and stuff.
So they're sort of torn apart at the joints. They were not done with precision the way that, like, I mean, in general, both when an animal or a person butchers something, they're very frequently torn apart at the joints because that's the natural breaking point.
You
But
don't have to tell me.
when a person, when a professional butcher butchers an animal, they usually cut them apart at the joints with a knife, which generally creates a clean cut. These look torn.
Oh, okay.
And Sean, because you got a result in the 7 through 9 results range, you also may, though you don't have to, choose one of the options from there on the 7 through 9 results range for investigate.
Let me check that again.
Sure.
I will find an additional clue.
Mm-hmm.
How long has the person been in here? Like, how long does it look like they've been dead? Was it within an hour, more than an hour, that kind of thing?
Within the last hour. It's a short enough time ago that, like, the blood hasn't fully coagulated or anything like that. And so when you it looks like, if you had to guess as to the time frame at which this happened, you would guess something like the people who were these folks who were supposed to go on the tour got impatient and jumped the gun and went to the paper mill before the tour, and then this happened, and then maybe half an hour to an hour after this happened, you guys showed up.
Okay. Well, obviously they came here early to set up the cameras to observe me.
Ah, yes, these cameras that you have no evidence exist.
Well, they didn't have a chance to because something killed them.
Yes, indeed. And also apparently stole the cameras because you don't find any cameras.
Very small, very small.
Speaking of cameras, is the documentary crew like around now, or are they at a different part of the town?
They've been in contact with you because you're the head of the local tourism board. They are expected to arrive tonight, so a few hours from now.
Okay.
So they haven't taken any photos or anything like that.
I'm just doing my best to do damage control and convince everyone that some of the local hooligans decide to play a trick, and they'll be dealt with. There's this fellow named James who is kind of the ringleader of these local wackos, and every small town has one. That's part of the charm, I guess, right? And just kind of try and shoo them away while also trying my best to calm them down.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, like the sheriff's deputy, the sheriff himself is being very professional about this, and he's taken photos of the crime scene and then putting people in body bags that the firefighters have with them, because you don't really have like a dedicated EMT. There isn't a hospital anywhere nearby, but you have firefighters and you have the sheriff. But the deputy is thoroughly outraged and is saying, like, I knew it was a bad idea to have out-of-towners coming in here. Y'all brought this on yourselves. And he points an accusing finger at the tourists, some of whom get really upset by that, or actually quite a few of whom get really upset. And some of the upset people are like of the, sobbing and saying, I knew we shouldn't have come. And some of the people who are upset are, furious at being accused in this way.
I will openly side with the tourists and just
I will openly side with the deputy.
Great. See, just another example of your friendly neighborhood xenophobia there, friends. Old Jethro there, he's never been outside of the town, and so anyone who isn't his neighbor is his enemy. So don't pay any mind to him. He may be wearing deputy's clothes, but
why would you need to go out of town? This town has everything you need. Not everyone has to go traveling about, bringing their troubles to other people.
Uh-huh.
I adjust my fake glasses.
Anyway, how about we go to the next place on the list, the local IHOP? Pancakes on me.
Yeah, all right. You bring folks to the oh man, I would have said Waffle House.
Yeah, I was going to say the it's probably Waffle House in the South.
No, it is the International House of Pancakes.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so you lead folks away to the IHOP, and this scene ends, and we transition to the next scene, which is that evening where the mayor has called an emergency town meeting to discuss what's happened and to figure out what we should do about the upcoming celebration. And this is happening shortly after the documentary crew arrives in town, who are thoroughly disappointed that they missed all of the excitement earlier in the day, which, of course, having that sort of attitude has pissed off some of the locals even more. So what do you each want to say at this town hall meeting?
I'm in total favor of postponing all this to get the tourists out of there, because there are sleeper agents from the crypto lizards that control the inner earth that are trying to take over the above ground, and if we stop them from coming up through these sleeper agents, we can postpone their attack on the surface.
Sadly, friends, there is a drug problem in this town, as is evidenced by Mr. James over there. And I don't believe that we should listen to a word that he says. This is our time. This is the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Ravenswood. And we can't just postpone history. We need to celebrate it. We are gathered here for a purpose, and the purpose is to revel in the majesty of our town. And we have the cameras, we have the tourists who have come from all corners of the globe to,
and we also have the dead bodies of those tourists.
Allegedly.
Right.
Some people in the town want more dead bodies, others do not.
All right. How about you, Father Barnabas? You're a respected member of the community.
Yeah, and I'm very upset that they want to continue with this. Obviously, it's a slight against and disrespectful towards the dead. This is just going to show that, you're spitting in the eye of God by doing this. There's been enough death,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we should just close it down before something else happens.
Yeah, Deputy
Father
Jethro,
Barnabas is a wise man.
Yeah, Deputy Jethro is thoroughly in agreement with you about that. and stands up and briefly applauds after you say that and says, "The father's right. Let's get these damn Yankees out of town." Is there anything that you guys would like to try to learn during this town hall meeting? Basically, everyone from in town and out of town is here. So if you have any questions that you'd like to try to find out the answer to, as regards any of the players in this saga, now would be a good opportunity.
I would like to try and learn to see if anyone has any ulterior motives. I'm still convinced that this is some kind of xenophobic action to try and remove the tourists anyway. And I just want to learn if there's any motives from any of the townsfolk to assist in this.
Sure. Would anyone like to assist in Jubilation's?
I'll assist because I was going to do something similar. I was going to observe the audience, locals and non-locals alike, to see if anyone was there for nefarious reasons, to ruin our town, people coming in to ruin our town's image.
All right. Father Barnabas, what do you have, would you like to assist on this, or do you have a different question you'd like to try to ask, or?
No, I'll assist.
All right. So each of you should please pick one or more, exactly one, because there's a maximum of 3 positive or wild or town tags that you think are relevant to this.
I'd like to pick the river. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said I'd like to pick the Mississippi River or something. Is that not?
That's not actually one of the town tags. That's
town. I thought it was. Okay, sorry.
No worries. So the town tags are the closed down paper mill, the washed up screen queen, who has yet to appear in the story, the tourists, the 150th anniversary of the Civil War battle, and the documentary crew who recently arrived and are pointing cameras at everyone that they can during this meeting. Which some of the locals, especially one lady who's probably in her 50s and is sort of done up like Dolly Parton, is very happy to have a camera pointed at her. A lot of the other locals are pretty upset and shoving their hand in the camera.
Okay.
The tag that I want to invoke is natural underdog, because it seems like literally everyone else in the room is against me on this, and I want to try and figure out who's behind this.
Okay.
I was going to invoke the tourists because I don't trust them. So I was going to be observing them closer than the locals, because the locals wouldn't do this, obviously.
Okay.
To my character.
Yeah.
It has to be an outsider.
Yeah, I wanted to invoke the documentarians because they weren't there when all this happened. Maybe they're trying to make their Hollywood film a little better than it should be.
All right. Cool. I am going to invoke Jubilation's negative tag disliked by locals, because there's this conflict coming into play here. And I am going to invoke the washed up scream queen, because she is going to try to direct attention towards herself and lead for the most exciting possible thing to happen that will get the most cameras pointed at her. So because I invoked 2 negative tags, you guys each gain 2 humanity. And John, go ahead and roll with a total of +1.
Shit, I muted. I said there's my patented low dice rolling. A total of 4.
Total of 4. Okay, great. So because you rolled a 6 or below, each of you gains a foreboding. And so while trying to observe people's reactions and observe the sort of different possible motives that could come into play, things are thoroughly disrupted by the Scream Queen, who lets out a piercing shriek that catches everyone's attention and makes everyone go silent and turn to face her, including all of the documentarians, which is exactly what she wanted. And she like winks at one of the cameras, and then she stands up and takes the microphone from whoever had it last, and says that obviously this is some sort of horrible tragedy being brought upon us by the horrible Fook monster that we all know haunts the old mill. And as folks from around here know, and as folks from out of town are sure to learn soon, this Fook monster is a terrible menace that for some reason some folks deny the existence of. So I say that we all band together and go try to catch proof of it on camera, and then maybe then the shiftless sheriff will finally do something about it. And she points like an accusing finger at the sheriff and deputy who are standing off to the side, who the sheriff looks, affronted at this, and Deputy Jethro just, buries his face in his hands. But she's successfully whipped up the crowd and gotten, especially because a sizable portion of the crowd at this point is tourists, gotten a number of them excited to go stake out the old paper mill. And so folks are going to head out that way.
I'll also advise people to arm themselves because the Fuchs monster is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, so most of the locals own guns just because, rural town. But most of the tourists did not bring guns with them. Maybe one or two did, but the majority did not bring guns with them. So this you explicitly saying that, and several of the locals making a show of being like, yeah, I have a gun, has put some of the tourists on edge.
That's my hope.
I will do everything I can to calm the tourists down and position myself as a form of authority and say, don't worry. This is just what we call dark tourism. And I'll pull up a Google page to show that it's not something I just made up. And tourism that has to do with the horrific and the scary and all
profiting off the dead
you mentioned. And just kind of like, give them a thumbs up. Like, this is cool, right?
And as you said earlier, there's folks from all around the globe here. An Italian goes, yes, the Mondo Turismo, making a reference to the Mondo films of the 70s, like Mondo Cane and Faces of Death.
Yeah, right. What he said, that's Mondo cool. And I'll give 2 thumbs up to him, like completely not understanding what he's saying.
He lights an imported cigarette. Great. So is everyone like accompanying this pseudo mob that the Scream Queen has organized and is taking to the mill, or would any of you like to do something else?
Oh, I'm definitely going. I mean, this is both a chance to protect the town and uncover sleeper agents that the government sent into the town.
I'm very much against this. It's still exploiting the dead. Plus, I have a church full of body bags, and I don't want some animal or something to get in there and get them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay behind at the church.
Okay. Yeah. Are you perhaps saying anything out loud about how this is exploiting the dead?
Of course.
Yeah. So
I warn them not to go. They're just going to end up shooting themselves.
Yeah, Deputy Jethro comes over to you, and he is in complete agreement. This whole celebration is tacky as hell and is exploiting our honored dead. These, great Confederate ancestors of ours who sacrificed so much in the lost cause, and he is in complete agreement that none of this should be happening, and all of these fucking Yankee tourists should be getting out of town. You see, there's even Europeans here. Them's the worst kind of Yankees of all.
What does that even mean?
The original.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Southeast Tennessee for a while. That makes perfect sense.
Yankee can mean northerner or it can mean non-southerner. So.
Yeah, Yankee is really just anyone not from here.
Okay.
And it could get very specific to like county or town.
Oh wow, I didn't know it went to that level of specificity.
Yeah.
Cool.
As I lead the tourist part of the mob, I will just kind of make it look like this is a scripted show, and I will dramatically draw my dueling saber and say, "Let's go hunt us a monster." But remember, don't actually lay a finger on the monster. We don't want to hurt the poor fellow who's in the costume.
Yeah, so the documentarians are definitely like pointing cameras at you. Are you going to make a point of saying that last part to the camera, or trying to say it away from the camera, or how's that working?
I'm trying to kind of say it away from the camera so that none of the tourists actually try and tackle the person. But for the camera, I'm saying like, yeah, let's go hunt us a monster and we will save the town, and just really ham it up as much as I can to make it look exciting but fake.
Okay. Well, all right. So I guess my question is, are you making it look like, are you making it clear to like a TV audience that it's fake?
Yes.
Or okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to take a very brief break right here while I organize potential next things that could happen in my brain, and we'll resume in just a moment.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever played in a group that's so antagonistic towards each other.
Towards one. Oh, it's not normal for me to be so antagonistic to the other players.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our last time we were all just like friends and in it together, and it was peaceful.
Well, but what I do enjoy that all three of us are taking different sides on what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
It's not like 2 versus 1 or one, or anything like that. It's all three of us disagree with one another.
And what's interesting, though, is that there's the mechanic that we can influence what's actually going on by spending. I don't think Thomas has really gone into that very much yet, but how you spend humanity and foreboding.
Yeah. I was going to mention it would be a good time to bring up the when you get 3 dots that you can do stuff, because I have three dots available in humanity.
Right. And one thing that he didn't make clear in the rules that he and I discussed last time is that you don't have to wait till downtime to spend. You can do it at any time.
Yeah, first time I played, I didn't know you could actually do anything with them. Because at the end I had like 10 humanity.
Oh wow.
Well, I didn't spend it, and he kept invoking stuff where I was doing things, and you could do stuff with humanity. Oh, okay.
Thomas, Thomas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Maybe now would be a good time to explain the mechanics of how and when to spend the humanity and foreboding and stuff.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I do have 3 humanity, so it would be a good chance to.
Great. Yeah. So there are 3 sort of kinds of experience: horror, humanity, and foreboding. And when you have at least 3 of any given kind of experience, then you can make the associated revelation. So if you have 3 or more humanity, you can reveal something about yourself. If you have 3 or more horror, you can let the horror sink in. And if you have 3 or more foreboding, you can reveal something about the world. And these moves are all on the last page of the Quick Start rules. And they work similar to the other moves in that you have options to pick, which either have a circle or a dot next to them. And the major difference here is that you don't roll any dice. You just spend the 3 horror, humanity, or foreboding and get whatever the effect is. And with horror, you with humanity and foreboding, you want to spend those because you get to make an interesting and probably positive change and effect on yourself with humanity and revealing something about yourself, or on the world and the setting with revealing something about the world. And with horror, you want to let the horror sink in because it lets you get rid of horror, where the more horror you have, the worse off you are. However, when you let the horror sink in order to get rid of that 3 horror, you have to have something bad happen. So these moves can either be like represent things that your character does here in the present, or they can represent like flashbacks to facts about your character that had not been previously established in the narrative, but we're saying are the case, or any other way of revealing or creating a new sort of character beat. So who has 3 or more humanity, foreboding, or horror and would like to spend it?
I have 3 humanity, but I'm gonna hold off on spending it for now. I will soon. I just gotta have to think of something to spend it, something to do with it.
Sure.
I think I have 2, because at some point it got to 0
I'm not sure what you mean.
for the humanity.
Yeah, so you start at 0, and then
Right, yeah.
and
But
then
then there was a -2 for something that we got.
oh, sure. So I think what you're thinking of is when you're making a roll, I can invoke up to 2 negative tags, and each negative tag that I invoke gives you a -1 on the roll, and it also gives you a humanity. So you would mark down that you have. So when I invoked 2 negative tags on a roll earlier, you got a -2 on that roll, which we took into account back then, and you gain 2 humanity, and those humanity stick around until you spend them to reveal something about yourself.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I think there's a good chance that you have currently a total of 2 humanity, and you can reveal something about yourself later once you get at least 3.
Okay.
So now that we've established how the revelations work, if any of you would like to do one of those, you can. And if not, something else is going to happen.
Bring it on.
All right. You head out in search of the Fuchs monster at the old mill, and the mob is not exactly like behaving like an organized search party. Most people are talking to each other. If they have like a flashlight or anything like that, then what they have is just their cell phone. And if they're trying to, a lot of people are sort of incompetently trying to record what's going on and mostly just recording each other. So your group is very well illuminated, and the area around you is not as well illuminated. Where are you sticking relative to the group? Are you like right in the middle talking to everyone? Are you on the periphery trying to get a good look out into the darkness? What are you doing?
I'm near the periphery, but I'm observing some of the townsfolk and especially the tourists.
Okay.
I'm at the head of the tourists, being very, shepherd with his flock kind of thing.
Okay. And
I'm back at the church still watching the dead bodies.
okay. So you're not, yeah, that's right. You're not going on this quest. So you back at the church, the deputy is talking with you, and he's strikingly sympathetic to what you were saying about how this is a tragedy that could have easily been avoided if all of these out of towners had just not shown up. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, nothing would have
No,
happened.
no. Sorry,
there.
he's
Okay.
not talking to you.
No,
He's talking to the priest.
No, it's yes, because God's way is the right way, and he's weeding out, the troublemakers.
That's right. Yeah, Jethro thoroughly agrees with that. Is sort of pressing you that like your whole job is to do God's will here on earth, and this is clearly God's will, right? To get these out of towners back out of town where they belong.
Well, there's limits to. There's obviously something dark and sinister going on. So I wouldn't put that on God's shoulders. He's protecting us.
All right. So while you two are having this religious debate as to the virtues of direct action in that regard, we cut back to the mob of locals and tourists and documentary crew, and the which is simultaneously trying to be led by Jubilation and also the Scream Queen, who is trying to make herself the center of attention by leading the whole group in that regard. And indeed, since none of you are since all of you are pretty concerned with the actions of the crowd, and she's more on the front, looking outwards, she's the one who first notices, points at, and screams when she sees a tall, shaggy figure in the woods off to the side of the paper mill, and people whirl their lights that way. And indeed, you can all see there's a tall, brown, furry something in the woods. What do you each do?
I'm going to identify it as the Fuchs creature that the government attempted to kidnap and weaponize.
I will, with my saber in hand, start advancing. I'm shaking just a little bit, but holding on to the notion that this is definitely some conspiracy theorist in a costume trying to spread his nonsense, and saying, all right, come on out here. These people, they're scared enough. They haven't even had their dinner yet, so skedaddle. And I'll shake my saber in the direction.
Okay. While you advance on the Fuchs monster that you can see in the woods, and the documentary crewmen all have their cameras pointed in that direction. That's where all the light is going. You're sort of lit up from behind, casting a shadow forward because you're at the front of the crowd. Out from behind burst two more Fuchs monsters and start attacking the crowd with enormous rending claws. And all of you who are there are exposed to a terrible peril. And now you need to face peril.
I'm glad I stayed back.
So the way this works is you pick. It's the same as
kind of wonky.
Oh, your connection dropping out, Sean?
Yeah, I missed the entire intro to that.
Oh no!
you started. I wanted to you started to explain it, and then it's like Brian was saying, "Well, I'm glad I stayed back." So I'm gonna hop over to my laptop real quick. So I'll just be gone for like a minute or so.
Okay.
But the suspense is unbearable. I hope it lasts.
By the Sasquatches.
Yeah, so the Sasquatches attack, and we immediately cut back to the priest talking with the deputy.
And we're discussing, who has the right of anything on this planet. I mean, it belongs to the animals before it belonged to us, and we keep intruding on their property and their land, and they're gonna fight back. The monsters are gonna fight back.
Yeah. All right. Is there?
And I warned that the bodies in the church, it's like ringing the dinner bell for whatever's out there.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to try to find out while you are engaged in conversation with this suspicious Southern deputy?
Suspicious.
Well, I don't know.
Frickin'
Jethro.
Well, I would like to know why none of these crimes, because this has happened before. So why can't we stop it? Why isn't it?
All right. Yeah, so pick up so nobody's around to help you try to find the answer to this, so it's all just you. Pick up to 3 of your positive or wild or town tags, and I will pick up to 2 negative or wild or town tags.
Oh. Well, that's all of them. I only had 3.
You have 5 positive
5?
tags. Yeah, you're the town priest. You know the secret history of the paper mill. You're more athletic than you look. You're friendly with the town librarian, and you're curious. So those are your 5 positive tags. Your wild tag is that you're compassionate, and you can invoke any of the town tags if you think that they're relevant to the current scene.
I think that at this point we need to try to put a stop to this. So we should probably go talk to the town librarian.
All right. Okay, so you're invoking the town librarian.
Right.
I'm going to invoke your haunted by a past event negative tag, because it seems very plausible that this, you just mentioned that this has happened in the past. It's very possible that that's the past event that you're haunted by. You could also invoke, for instance, the secret history of the paper mill, since that's where this whole thing started. And that's a positive tag you have.
Let's do that. Sorry, this is my first time doing this, so.
Oh yeah, no worries. That's why I'm
trying to get the hang of it.
Yeah. Hey, Sean's back.
Sean's back. So,
yeah,
I think these creatures are probably living. Somehow they're staying out of sight until they need to be. So I think we should go to the library and look at some schematics of the building of the old paper mill.
Okay.
To see if there's a way that they're, if they're using that as their living space.
Okay.
Whatever's killing these tourists.
Yeah. So you are going to roll an investigate check with a total of +1 because you invoked 2 positive tags and I invoked 1 negative tag.
Okay.
And because I invoked a negative tag, you gain another humanity.
Okay.
Bringing you to
3.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. And
so you roll 2 6-sided dice and add 1.
Okay, so all right, and it rolled and stop. I got 2 6s, so it's just 12, and then I add 1 as 13.
That's the best possible result. So yeah, take a look.
I'm not lying; it's right there.
Yeah, no, I believe you. So take a look at the investigate results and the 10 plus. And so the question you were specifically asking was, is there anywhere that's like a hidden room or something that in the paper mill where these things might be hiding during the day or something like that? And the answer is yes. There is a space in the basement that like you've been on the paper mill tour before and nobody's ever gone into that room, or at least like you've never seen anyone go into that room. But it is there. And so you suspect that if they're living at the paper mill in a spot that no one's been able to notice, that's probably the spot. And in addition to that, you get to pick one of the 10 plus options on the investigate move.
Ten plus in the investigative.
That's right.
So
which is page 5.
Your experience and your success at it affects you for the better. Is that
Uh,
the one?
I'm which PDF are you looking at? Are you looking at
Investigate. It says 10 plus. In addition to the clue you get for hitting, you may choose one. You find
Yes.
something useful. You find an additional clue. Someone notices your investigation and takes an interest.
Right. Yes. So go ahead and pick one of those 3.
I want to find something useful.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why you haven't seen folks go in there is that there's so the library is also sort of like attached to the historical society. There aren't a whole lot of buildings in town, and they have like when you go in and you're saying, hey, I want to know more about the layout of this this old paper mill. The librarian's like, yeah, we have records of that. Here's the blueprints for how the paper mill was designed, and we have some historical artifacts for that are from the paper mill as well, which includes a ring of keys. So yeah, you can write down that ring of keys wild tag, and that should give you access to every room in the paper mill. Meanwhile,
get those cameras ready, boys. Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back right outside the mill itself, monsters are attacking people. So what happened for the folks who have to face peril? So that's James Early and Jubilation Boone. You are both in the crowd that is being attacked by these Fook monsters.
Okay. Well, I'm out in front with my saber drawn dramatically, trying to put on a brave face, so I can invoke up to 3 tags, right?
That's right.
So I will invoke Dueling Expert. My posture is in a way that it protects my face and chest. Natural Underdog, because I am out kind of ahead of everyone, trying to protect them. And Gregarious, because I'm trying to put on a brave front.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to invoke your like you said, it's going to come up a lot, the disliked by locals, because you're in a mob that's half locals. And all of a sudden chaos is erupting. And I'll say how much humanity are you sitting at right now?
If you invoke 1, I'll be at 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just sit with that. The documentary crew is not really helping or hurting, and the tourists are panicking among themselves. So gain a humanity and roll with a total of +2. And once we get your result here, then we'll also do James Early. You also have to face peril here.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a total of 8.
All right. Pick one of the 8 through 9, or excuse me, 7 through 9 results range options.
All right, this is the injury one.
On face peril.
Yeah. So I guess there's the mark off a town tag one.
There is.
I think that I'm gonna be injured, a minor injury.
Okay.
And so I am sideswiped by one of the Fook monsters.
Indeed, yeah, you're sort of sideswiped by it and knocked down, but then it doesn't go in for the kill and instead charges past you towards the crowd. And meanwhile, Sean, how's James Andrew Early doing?
So I'm going to try and lead my students away from the fight so they don't get hurt.
Okay.
So I'm going to invoke I'm the smartest man in the area because I'm trying to get away from the fight, not fight the monsters.
Okay.
I'm going to invoke I'm liked by my students.
All right.
I'm going to invoke hiker, so because I know the area, I know how to get them away from danger.
That makes sense. I'm going to invoke your not well liked in town because of wild theories and your paranoid delusions, because it makes sense to me that you would be seeing this as confirmation of all of the stuff you've been saying all this time, which could be a little distracting.
Yeah.
So you gain 2 humanity because I invoked 2 of your negative tags, and go ahead and roll with a total of +1.
That is a 9, which becomes a 10.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's face peril. Never mind.
This is face peril.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I was looking at the right one then. But,
yeah, because you're being attacked by monsters.
Yeah.
That's peril.
I'm going to reveal a connection with an NPC to that'll help me out. And then
Cool.
so I gain a wild tag to name them.
Yeah.
Did the deputy stay at the?
The deputy is with the priest.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And speaking of which, like while you were going and wanting to investigate the layout of the old mill and stuff, he's disappointed by that. He would rather he was liking it when it sounded like the 2 of you were agreeing that all these out-of-towners need to go back out of town.
Oh yeah, but I also want to investigate the monster because it's part of my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to put all the out-of-towners in harm's way to weed out the government agents.
Yeah. Oh no, I was saying that
Yeah.
The Deputy Jethro
Yeah.
was
disappointed in me.
was disappointed in Father Barnabas.
Okay.
Because those 2 are together first at the church and then at the library / museum. And he was happy about where the conversation was going at the church when it seemed like you were agreeing that these out-of-towners don't belong here. But now that you're getting into this like practical matter of investigating the physical building, he's not as happy about that.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, back in the
I just don't know what other. I'm imagining one of the NPCs likes that I'm actually trying to save the kids and get them out of harm's way. I'm just not exactly sure who among the townsfolk would actually appreciate me.
Yeah. So this is a new wild tag for you. So
Yeah.
it's a new person who's not already represented by a tag.
Yeah.
So this could be like the parent of one of your students, or maybe another teacher is there, or maybe you want to like name a specific student who has some sort of particular skill, like maybe the quarterback or something like that is helping you to lead people away
Yeah.
from danger.
Yeah, I'll-
Maybe
I'll
the
go with, I'll go with the school jock, head of the varsity basketball team, baseball team, football team. It's a small town, so
yeah.
like I said, I'm actually looking after the kids instead of either running away blindly like some are, or running into find everything like others are.
Yeah, so you successfully lead your students away from what's going on, and between the efforts of you and the school jock, you're able to herd at least that subsection of the people who are there away very effectively, and none of them get hurt, which unfortunately the same cannot be said for the people who are remaining there, and more of whom are just panicking. The documentarians are sort of like turning around and facing getting back to back and filming in every direction. The out-of-towners are largely panicking and running in different directions. And the locals are also, for the most part, largely running away. A few are firing guns wildly. And the ones who are running away in a sort of more organized fashion because, like you as the hiker, tend to know the terrain a bit better than the out-of-towners. So, John, by this point, Jubilation is the only person of the three of you who's still with the bulk of the mob, and you see that the Fook monster who shoved you down and ran past you, as well as the other two who attacked the mob, are setting upon one of the documentarian cameramen. And so, thinking of this as a film, the shot transitions to looking at things through that person's camera, and they fall, and the camera rolls and lands. So we're seeing things rotated 90 degrees, but other than that, it's a nicely framed shot of the three monsters laying in with claws and rending this person apart. So you need to encounter true horror as you see one of the people who paid you to be here get killed in front of your very eyes.
Ooh.
You're muted.
6 + 1 because I add the amount of horror I currently have, right?
That's right.
Okay, so 7.
Okay, so take a look at the 7 through 9 results, and I believe you already marked one of those off. So pick one of the other ones.
Okay, so it's either use one opportunity. I am going to. So this might be foolish, but Jubilation is actually a good person, and he sees that for whatever reason the Fook monsters are running at the cameramen specifically. Like, are they all running at the same individual person?
Yes.
Okay. So you spot an opportunity and put either yourself or someone else in danger to take advantage of it. I'm going to try and protect him.
Great. Yeah. So since you're putting yourself in danger, so go ahead and mark that off, and then because you encounter true horror, you gain another horror, putting you at 2. And then because you're putting yourself in danger to try to save this cameraman's life, you need to face peril.
Okay. Well, I will invoke I guess again dueling expert, natural underdog, because it looks like these things can overpower me, and the documentary crew because I see who they are targeting and can also target them to protect them.
Okay. I'm going to invoke the 150th anniversary of the Civil War battle, as you feel sort of the seeing someone with a cavalry saber fighting off against fighting what looks like potentially a doomed fight against a superior force, draws parallels to what happened here 150 years ago. So roll with a total of +2 and gain a humanity.
And so it says when a negative tag of yours is invoked, that includes town tags.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So with a +2, oh my gosh, that's the highest I've ever rolled. A total of 13.
That's really good. Yeah, so you successfully defend the cameraman who you're holding him off, swinging your saber around as the monsters roar at you, and he scrambles backwards and puts his camera back on his shoulder while he's lying on the ground, and films this dramatic shot from below, looking up at you doing this. And you can also pick one of the 10+ options.
Okay. I would like to, I guess, reveal a connection with an NPC, because I just saved this camera person's life.
Yeah.
And so I give him a name, I guess.
Sure. Someone the cameraman.
We will call him Jose. Jose the cameraman. Great.
You successfully defend Jose the cameraman from the 3 Fook monsters who, looking around and seeing that most of the people at this point have fled, they back away from your saber and run off into the woods.
Aha! I'll strike a victory pose while noticeably shaking.
Yeah, that's going to make for a great shot for the documentary. Meanwhile, Father Barnabas, you, what are you doing?
Well, so we went to the library.
That's right.
And we talked to the librarian, and we looked at a map of the place.
Mm-hmm. And you got a set of keys.
And we got a ring of keys. And so we found out that there's a lot of connections because of the severe weather at the time. They built a lot of underground tunnels. There happens to be a tunnel leading from the library that goes right to the old paper mill.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's on the schematics.
Yeah. So you're able to take that tunnel, and so with you, you have the librarian who's now thoroughly caught up in this mystery as well, and the deputy. And you head through the tunnel. It takes you like a good half hour to walk the length of that. And meanwhile, the chaos in the woods has died down. Some people are probably lost in the woods because they're not from around here and they're running wildly in fear. But the school group has successfully been led back to town. And Sean, James can either stay with them or head back out into the woods, or whatever you choose to do.
I'll have the I named the school jock Brandon Morgan. I'll have Brandon lead the kids to the school and make sure that they get to one of the rooms, get all the kids in there, one of the couple of the rooms, just lock themselves in so that they're safe.
Sure.
And then I'll head back to try and look for any survivors / looking for clues to the government conspiracy where the government released the Fuchs monsters that they've weaponized on our town to discredit me.
Okay, so you're going to head back out there.
Yeah.
And Brian, Father Barnabas, is also heading out there, but by underground tunnel rather than by above ground trail. And John, what is Jubilation doing with the documentary crew now that it's pretty much just you guys and a few of the tourists left there?
Has everyone else has just kind of long since run away, so they're not around anymore?
Yeah.
Okay. What direction did the Fook monsters go? Did they ran off?
They did run off. They looked like they were perhaps heading towards the paper mill.
Okay. I'll ask if everyone's okay, and if they're okay with going on a real extreme tourism adventure, and kind of smile in almost a little unhinged way.
Yeah. So Jose, the cameraman, says that he is okay thanks to you, and like clasps you in a big hug, and is exceedingly grateful. And yeah, at this point, the tourists who are still there and didn't flee in panic are the type who are willing to go on a more extreme tourism event.
All right. Well, pulling out my saber again, it dramatically reflects the light of the moon as we continue on towards the paper mill.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the tunnel beneath in the tunnel that leads to the paper mill, the sheriff's deputy is sort of saying, I got a bad feeling. I think we should turn back. But Father Barnabas, I'm guessing you're not going to turn back.
No, but it's an old tunnel, and I would imagine the lights that are down there are flickery and not good, and it's right by the river. Wouldn't it kind of seep? You kind of wet in there?
Yeah, there aren't even any lights installed in here. You're using your own like cell phone flashlights and things like that to see your way through here. And yeah, it is damp. So you're squelching through the mud. Is there anything that you would like to find out on your like that is the reason why you're going along in this creepy tunnel?
That we like to find in the tunnel?
That you would like to find out? Is there a question that you're curious about that is driving you to do this? So we sort of use the investigate move largely to create scenes by defining like the question is sort of the point of the scene of what are the characters trying to learn, or even not necessarily what are the characters trying to learn, but what might they end up learning? Because a thing that often happens in movies is that characters stumble upon new information rather than deliberately seeking it out. And so we can construct this next scene by talking about the different tags that you might want to invoke, and by talking about a piece of information that you might want your character to learn.
Is there any evidence in these tunnels that some creatures have been using them for transport?
Okay. All right. And so, what tags would you like to invoke? Certainly, I imagine you have the town librarian here. You're going to the paper mill. I'm going to invoke your claustrophobic tag because you're in an underground tunnel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, what can I use against that? Because I would naturally at some point want to turn back.
Yeah. And so whether or not you do is the sort of thing that can be determined by the results of this investigation check. If you roll particularly poorly and get like a total of 6 or below, then perhaps you will choose to turn back.
Okay.
But if you roll really well, then you brave your way through it.
Okay. So roll again?
Well, first we need to pick all the tags, and then you're going to roll. So I'm invoking claustrophobia tag, and what tags are you invoking?
So it was knowledge of the paper mill.
All right. I think this ring of keys that you just got.
The keys, you said?
Yeah, you just got this ring of keys that has all of the keys to the doors in the paper mill.
Right. So we would find. So I would want to invoke the keys to get to the other end because we hear noises coming from the other end.
Yeah.
And we don't know if it's water seeping in or the creatures or what.
All sorts of possibilities.
Right. So just tell me what to do. So I just go ahead and I want to open the door that we suddenly find at the end.
Yeah. So so you invoked 2 tags and I invoked 1. So you gain a humanity and you roll 2 6-sided dice and add 1.
Okay. So roll. Start, go, roll, and stop. So 8. No, wait. Wait, why is it? It's literally going 4, 8, 9. Stop. 7. Okay, 6 and a 1, and plus 1 is 8.
Great. So if you look at the investigate results, on the 7 through 9. You can also pick a follow-up question.
You find an additional clue. You find there's a clue unrelated to the question you were asking.
Right. So the question that you were asking is there evidence that this tunnel has been being used by animals to move back and forth? And the answer is no. The tunnel is... as you noted, there's water sort of generally seeping through it, and so the ground is muddy. And so if there were animals making their way back and forth in the tunnel, you would expect to see a lot of animal prints in here, but there aren't. Instead, you see boot prints.
Oh, it was Old Man Withers the whole time.
Damn kids. I would have got away with it too. All right. So, but then now I have the keys. I want to use the keys. So we're at the door at the end, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I guess your follow-up question is, what is in this secret chamber in the paper mill?
Well, no, it leads to through the paper mill. It would be the cemetery because it's underneath.
Sorry, say again.
So the tunnel, it goes
the
library. It goes down to the tunnel. Tunnel goes to the paper mill, but it would be in the basement of the paper mill, which would be the cemetery, or at least evidence of the cemetery, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now I understand you. Yeah, that makes sense.
So somebody has been using the bodies as jerky, and they've run out of jerky, and that's why they're attacking upstairs.
Well, that's a theory you can certainly entertain.
I'll go with Sean on that. Hey, Sean, help me out here.
That it's all conspiracy. Well, I'm not there, so I can't assist you yet. Or I mean, I will eventually.
That's my fault because I wasn't playing as a team member. Okay, so all right, so there we go.
So you make your way. You open up the door and you find yourselves in the basement of the old paper mill, which in turn has another door at the top of the stairs leading out, which is locked. And this part is, in fact, usually not on the tours or anything like that, because, like you said, it's where the remains of the cemetery are visible from. And so you find down here, in addition to the graves that you suspected you would find, you also find an altar here to the honored dead, with a tattered Confederate flag flying on it, raised above it, and folded at the foot of it are several large furry brown costumes.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
And where's John? Didn't you go back to the?
Yeah.
Didn't he,
So
didn't he
Yeah.
not?
at
But
this,
go ahead.
you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I haven't actually. I've just gone back. I haven't gone underground or inside yet. I did head back though.
Okay, so we leave on my cliffhanger and go back to Sean as he makes his way there.
Yeah. So both James Early and Jubilation Boone are heading back towards the paper mill, where Jubilation, you're bringing the camera crew with you. James, are you just heading on your own? Because you left the students and the jock.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the students with me. I want to get them to safety.
Okay. Yeah. So they're back at the schoolhouse, hiding there. And the two of you, Jubilation and James, you arrive back at the paper mill, and along with the film crew.
Can I interject as we're going, like on our journey to the paper mill? I actually want to spend my humanity.
Yeah,
Go
I was
for it.
also going to spend some humanity.
In that, so as the light of the moon is reflected in my saber, and I'm taking this newfound leadership role, I can feel something within myself changing. That it may be just the moment, but it may be something more, channeling the spirits of my warrior ancestors, my soldier ancestors, but I can feel that I'm no longer this social pariah outcast, but I'm becoming a hero, and a protector of the weak, and a leader of this ragtag flock. And so I will spend my 3 humanity to work on overcoming my weakness, marking off a negative tag and gaining a related wild tag.
Okay.
And so instead of my disliked by locals, my wild tag will become hero of the people.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
I'm going to be spending 3 humanity to gain a new positive tag of observant, because I did notice that the creatures were attacking, and I took that opportunity to get people to safety. I'm not marking off not well liked yet, because it's not known that I saved out the students yet.
Fair enough.
I'm just going observant.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah, as you make your way back towards the paper mill, a few of the townsfolk who had run around in a panic spot you with all of your lights and stuff, and come over to you, and more than one of them recognizes Jubilation as having defended them with your cavalry saber, and they're thoroughly like, I had the wrong idea about you, Jubes. Yeah, that was a
Into the damn Jubes. No sir.
that was damn heroic of you. And then those of you who are on the surface make your way back to the paper mill, and you arrive and you see there are more locals here who weren't with you earlier, who are some of them spot you and immediately call out like, oh, I think I saw the monsters go that way. And they point, up north away from the paper mill. And meanwhile, in the basement, Father Barnabas, you can hear people yelling and moving around upstairs. What do you each want to do?
I will begin checking any of the anybody that's like down, to see if they're just hurt or if they're dead. I mean, I can't render any aid, but I will check to see if I can't, if anybody's does need help.
Yeah. So a few of the people who were part of the tour have been injured. None of them have been killed, fortunately. It looked like the three Fook monsters really tried to focus their attack on Jose the cameraman, but were then fended off. And so there are people who have like been, cut and stuff like that, but nobody's like missing a limb.
Okay.
So I hear noises.
That's right.
Can I ask a question, or do I have to give up some points?
You can ask a question. Go ahead.
Okay, so where we are, we hear noises above us. Is there an entrance to get to the top, like a trap door or anything?
Yes, there is. It's
now
locked. You have the key.
This is a big revelation, finding the suits. So obviously it's a human. So is somebody with me pretty upset about the discovery?
Yes, the deputy is sort of panicking. He's not like trying to reveal any information, and he's trying not to reveal any information, but he's also a little dim-witted, so he's revealing some information that he doesn't seem like overly surprised at finding this, more upset.
That's upset enough to keep us from going to the surface?
Well, you'll have to try to find out and see.
That's what I'm asking.
Sorry. No, you are able to climb the stairs and unlock the door and open up and find yourself sort of behind the three people who are standing up there and talking with James and Jubilation and the and the documentary crew. And they're trying to direct. They're saying like, "Oh, we saw the monsters go that way," and pointing away from the paper mill. So what do you do? They haven't heard you come up.
Well, we know the truth. We know that there's students, and if there's suits there, but it doesn't mean that all the suits are there. Two might be being used right now. So,
well, there were three suits that you found. You found three suits down there,
right? And there were two monsters that attacked.
There were three monsters that attacked.
Three monsters. Well, it couldn't be. Well, I guess it could be. But all of the people that are up there have been with us all the time. So it's not like it could be one of them.
No. There were these three people who are here in the paper mill and saying that they saw the monsters go a different direction. They were not part of the tour group. They were not part of the initial mob. They showed up later.
Who are these people? So these people are talking to us, trying to saying that the monsters went the other way. Who are these people?
So they're names are Rufus, JD, and Bubs, and they're members of the Sons of the Confederacy, who are folks who can prove through historical documentation that they are descended from people who fought for the Confederacy at the Civil War, and they're sort of local troublemakers.
Okay.
So not very trustworthy to begin with.
Not very trustworthy. Well, that depends on who you ask. I mean, in your opinion, no, they're not very trustworthy. But if, for instance, you asked like the sheriff, or particularly the sheriff's deputy, no, they're totally trustworthy.
Sure. I'll just say, out of the way, son. We're doing grown-up work, and go into the paper mill.
Yeah, I described them as well. They're following the fake history that is put forth by the government about why we fought the Civil War. So they're just complete nonsense. As I brush them aside, and I follow.
You try to brush them. You try to brush them aside, but they don't want to let you. And they're willing to pull out their guns to try to prevent that, and shove you backwards and yell out about no more. Yankee piss ants are gonna desecrate this holy ground any further. Back the fuck off.
Yankee?
One of them fired.
I'm related to General Early.
Then you should know this better than anyone. One of them fires a gun into the air, and the documentarians are startled and pull back a bit, but continue to film what's going on. And
I mean, if you're true sons of the South, you'd want to protect your fellow Southerners, not stop us from preventing these attacks against our own. Move aside.
Wouldn't be no attacks against our own if you weren't here siding with those Yankee fucks. And he points at the documentary crew, and the tourists who are looking really scared at this point.
Have you been drinking all the moonshine in your ears? At what point have I ever sided with any of these people?
Right now. And yeah, he probably has been. So you at this point, things are about to descend into utter chaos, as having been revealed on camera with one of the three guys there who was trying to take a bit of a more tactful approach when dealing with y'all, is just burying his head in his hands and going, oh my god. Now at this point, now that this idiot's waving a gun at people and yelling about this, guess we're going all in. Can't let that footage escape and get us tarred in this way. So simultaneously, the three who are above ground move forward and start to attack, and the deputy who had been following you up the stairs, Father Barnaby, he drops back down behind you and picks up a sort of claw-like bladed weapon that's was used as part of the suits, and comes up behind you with that. And now all three of you need to face peril.
Uh-oh.
Where the hell did that come from? Okay.
It was with the suit.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Jethro was a Sasquatch the whole time.
It's true.
All right. Well, I will invoke Hero of the People, as I found my new role in this is protecting these poor tourists. Dueling expert with my saber. And Jose the cameraman, who's going to have my back.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to invoke Observant, because I was noticing them acting weird. I'm going to invoke I'm actually going to invoke my Weird Old Book, because it said this is not how the Fuchs creature would attack. They would attack from the forest, dropping down and attacking, or coming up out of the waters to attack. They're ambush predators. They don't come out and openly attack creatures.
All right.
and I'm going to invoke I'm the smartest person because I already know this.
Okay.
I'm invoking my athleticism, right? And then my secrets of the
secret history of the paper mill.
right. So I know that if I like do a round kick and hit something, it's gonna fall on him or something. Well, no.
Yeah, you know where
that.
you know where all the machinery is and stuff. You could kick someone into a gear or something, and then like crank something and pinch them in between it or something like that.
That's what I do.
All right,
and I want to involve the librarian
because that person's here too. That absolutely makes sense. Awesome. And for all of you, I am going to invoke the paper mill itself as a negative tag, and the documentary crew, because they're getting in the way and not really fighting because they're trying to film things that are going on, and because they're a target that you at least probably want to try to defend. So all of you gain 2 humanity because I invoked those 2 town tags as negative tags, and then you each roll to face peril with a total of +1, and let me know how you do.
I got a total of 10.
Really good.
I got a total. Well, with +1, I will have 11. So I also
wow. Okay, you're both rolling great so far. How about you, Brian?
I rolled snake eyes, so that's 3 total.
Ooh, that's really bad. Okay. Okay.
Oh, wait, my internet went down. I have a
You are freezing.
No.
What? Yeah, I got a 3.
Okay, so that's really bad. So we're going to start there.
Oh, fine.
And we'll see how it might get modified by what other folks are doing. So I'm going to say things are going to go really bad here. That since you were going up the stairs first and are looking at the you're paying attention to the conflict that's brewing above and in front of you, you aren't paying attention to what's going on behind you. And so the deputy manages to slip back down, pick up one of the claw-like weapons, and murder the librarian
No!
behind you. And he shouts out, "You should have kept your nose out of other people's business." And then you turn around upon hearing that, just in time to see him, shove the librarian's corpse down the stairs and advance upon you with the claw. And because you rolled so poorly, I'm going to say you have to mark off 2 of the options on, or you have to pick 2 of the options on 7 through 9. So take a look at those.
And that's in face peril?
Yes, that's right.
So suffer a minor injury.
Okay.
Suffer a crippling injury. Oh.
And notice the dot as well.
I see it. Isn't it die that got me in the trouble? I don't want to die, but I have to pick 2.
You have to pick 2. But I by the dot one, I mean the one that starts with you managed to escape. The one that's above die.
Oh.
Yeah, there are 3 options for you. You're not.
There's
I see.
3 injury options, and then the mark off a town tag option, and then die as the final.
Right. I just saw die, so right away.
That's why I wanted to make sure that you saw this as a possibility.
All right, but I'm very athletic, so there's possibility that I just I got scratched on the arm, which makes sense because I was earlier bleeding on my arm, and that was from the Lord. The Lord gave me that vision.
You had stigmata.
Nice.
Right, on my arm. So just let me have this.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about escape? but something in town is damaged or destroyed.
And
But
so the two town tags that were invoked on this are the closed down paper mill and the documentary crew.
right, as much as I'd like to see them all die, what were we using for illumination in the tunnel? Candles?
Earlier we said that you guys were using like cell phone flashlights because this takes
Oh,
place
that's
in the
right.
present.
I can't start a
Um,
fire with that.
Can if the cell phone explodes.
That's true. Cell phones have batteries that can explode with that, and you can create sparks by just hitting metal on metal. So,
Well, the Lord is not a cosmic cash machine, so I can't ask for that. So how about all right. So what? So suffer minor injury.
Mhm. So the
And
slashed up arm.
and then manage to escape though. Yeah, scratch the arm. So do that.
And managing to escape, but something in town doesn't. So which of the two town tags that were invoked?
Oh, right.
So you pick either the paper mill or the documentary crew is going to get destroyed in this fight.
I think the well, I mean the jig is up now. So it's no longer money for the town. So I would say go with the paper mill.
All right.
Makes
Yeah.
more sense, I think. Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
Can I resolve my face danger now?
Absolutely.
Yes. So since I rolled high enough, where did it go? I get to choose your experience and your success at it affects you for the better. So I will, still advancing on these three, JD and Bubs, and what was the other one's name?
Rufus.
Rufus. And I would like to gain the positive tag genealogical blackmail, and advance on them and say, just in a very level-headed tone, but at the same time with that kind of strange, almost unhinged smile crossing my face. JD Adams and Bubs Smith and Rufus Wainwright. I been doing some reading about your relatives that fought in the war, and you probably already know this, but those boys were deserters. You probably don't want that getting out, so why don't you lower your weapons there?
Oh man. Yeah, so because you rolled really well, you're able to start at least somewhat convincing them. The of the three of them, one of them, the smartest one, JD, is he really, he was the one who was trying to be like, yeah, they're the monsters are that direction, and was trying to mislead you earlier. And he's trying to still look innocent for the cameras. Meanwhile, Bubs is very much unconvinced by all of this, and doesn't want to go along with your peaceable surrender suggestions, and is furious at you for besmirching the honor of his ancestors. And Rufus is looking really conflicted and not sure what to do. Sean, what's going on with James Roy?
So I'm going to be invoking the I find something that gets me out of the situation.
Okay.
I'm going to find probably from one of the locals. They actually brought their Confederate pistol that was kept in working condition.
Yeah.
So I'll snatch that up, and so it was Bubs that was still standing.
Yeah.
So I'll point it at him, tell him very plainly that he is no son of the South, that a true Southerner would not have acted as such a rapscallion dog and level the pistol at him with it cocked.
Okay. Yeah, you point the pistol at his head, and he realizes that he's outgunned, and starts to put up his hand to put up his hands to surrender. And meanwhile, the storm that's been rolling up north and been heading south all day rolls down upon you, and the rains start in earnest. And while they're doing that, the river brings with it the extra water it's been accumulating upstream this whole time. And inside of the old mill, the conflict between the preacher and the deputy is growing fierce. The two of you, he's swinging this claw thing, you're ducking around behind machinery and trying not to get hit. When you hear a sort of rumbling, and the tunnel walls that you noticed earlier were somewhat in danger with the water leaking through them are indeed collapsing and pulling one side of the mill down with them, creating a sinkhole. And the deputy is pulled down, hit by collapsing wood, and pulled down with some of the ancient rusted machinery into the sinkhole, while you barely manage to escape out the side, and everyone watches the beloved old abandoned paper mill collapse into a pile of sticks and rubble. How do you each react to this?
Well, I'm happy because it was built by the government to cover up their kidnapping of the Fuchs creatures. This will just help what actually happened be unmasked.
Yeah, indeed. Any of the evidence that was in there is now buried under a bunch of mud and rubble.
But I mean, there's also evidence that they were faking. But my idea is that with a gun, it'll help reveal that the government actually did take the Fuchs monsters in the first place, which is why these guys had to fake it. The Fuchs creatures are being used in the military to attack innocent nations.
I'm going to. Does it look like anybody is in danger of getting hurt from this collapse? Like, even the three JD and Bubs and all them. Like, are they still in the paper mill with it collapsing?
No, since the collapse is part of this face peril check that we already rolled for, we've already determined sort of all of the consequences of that. So yeah, they had come out to confront you, and the only people who were inside when it collapsed were the librarian, who was already dead, the deputy, who was killed by the collapse, and the priest, who successfully ran outside.
Okay. I'm just going to try and make sure everyone is very clear of the paper mill so that they don't get hurt at all, or if there's any I don't know, just trying to usher people away.
Okay. And Father?
And I see it as redemption, and that when the evil place went right to hell, and with it all of its secrets. And the librarian was also the town whore, so there you go. There's the twist.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so all of you, you watch as the dust settles. It is quickly pushed down into the earth by the rain, and return to town. The documentarians are, really eager to press charges, although if you know anything about the legal system, that's not actually how it works. It's up to the police officers as to and the DA and such as to whether charges are pressed. It's not up to the victim of the crime. And they have to leave town anyways because they don't live here and they have to get back to their jobs. In Hollywood and Chicago and all of those hoity-toity towns. And so despite having video evidence of these locals threatening you all with guns, they didn't actually shoot anyone. And any evidence that they were Father Barnabas, do you reveal that that you saw these costumes and that you think those three were pretending to be the Fuchs monsters? Because at the moment you're the only one who knows.
Right. And that's why I said it's God's redemption, pulled it down to hell, go with it all its secrets.
Okay.
So you're not
Yeah.
telling anyone?
So the fact that you don't tell anyone and the nobody saw the fight between you and the deputy because you were inside and everyone else was outside. But they know that you but JD Bubs and Rufus know that you came up through the tunnel, because where else could you have come from?
Right. So the word you're looking for is hero.
Yeah. So they consider you to be on their side now, and they think you're fully in agreement with them about their plan to honor their ancestors by scaring away / killing as many Yankee dogs as they could. And the documentarians leave town, but not before exchanging information with the Scream Queen to see if they can try to turn this into a low budget horror movie. If any of you have anything that you would like to do right now, you can. Otherwise, the next thing to do is the epilogue move.
I have stuff. I don't entirely remember how the epilogue move works, but I think that's what I want to.
Okay,
yeah, that's where you spend the stuff.
Yeah. So the way that the epilogue move works is you say the most emotion.
I know. Thanks.
You say the most emotionally salient moment for you from the story, and if it scared your character, you gain a horror. If you overcame an obstacle during it, then you gain a humanity. And if you think it will continue to affect things going forward, you gain a foreboding. And then after you do that, you can make as many revelations as you want. And these represent short scenes at the end of the movie, maybe even during or after the credits, revealing how your characters and the town change going forward as a result of the consequences of tonight's events.
Well, I have one.
Go for it.
I overcame my his first inclination is always to investigate the conspiracies that are going on around him to vindicate himself and whatnot. Instead, he went ahead and saved the students and got them to safety instead of plunging headlong into investigating what was going on.
Yeah, you behaved remarkably non-self-centeredly.
Yeah, which is not like him at all.
All right. So that sounds like you definitely gain humanity there. Were you scared during that? And do you think that will affect things going forward?
I mean, he was seeing the creatures he was talking about attacking people. So, yeah, that definitely put him off. He's used to just reporting on that and telling people that there's dangers, not actually witnessing the dangers himself.
Yeah. And I could see it mattering going forward because you're improving your relationship with your students who already liked you. So now they probably like you even more.
Yeah.
So gain a horror, a humanity, and a foreboding.
Okay.
And now either you can make revelations or somebody else can describe their most salient moment.
I'll let people do their salient moments, then I'll do the revelation.
Okay.
My most impactful moment was definitely that character transformation of going from social pariah to local hero. And I was both selfless and terrified during that that moment to gain a horror and a humanity.
Absolutely.
And my revelation will reflect that shortly.
Cool. And Brian, what was Father Barnabas's most emotionally impactful moment of the story?
Oh, well, not really, because now that I'm thinking back on it, stayed behind most of it. He was protecting something, and it wasn't until he got the keys.
Yeah. So, for
So-
instance, I could see the death of the town librarian, or overcoming her claustrophobia to go through the tunnel.
Right, that I saw, but it was like, it's the death of the librarian. I mean, obviously his hero arc was that he, took down the villain, but not before he took one last victim. I don't know. It was kind of a weak character.
Oh,
If I had understood what I was doing more, I would have spiced it up. But
well, I mean, now you know for next time if you'd
Yeah,
like to play it in.
Yeah, first time playing.
Yeah, so I was just like, well, because I would have a revelation where all along he wanted to get those keys, to find those keys, because it also opened something up in the church.
Oh, so we can have some sort of like teaser, last minute scene in the movie, teasing a possible sequel of something in the church.
Right, exactly. So that's what you would want to do is, it's I didn't want to do a Carrie moment where the hand burst out of the grave, but
Oh, man.
something, because there's
Yeah.
bodies in the church still.
That's true.
And he does talk about something eating the dead.
Yeah. All right. So if we're saying that the most impact, like, so to just go through the mechanics of this, if we're saying that the most impactful moment for your character was the death of your friend the librarian, that definitely seems like a horrifying moment. So you can gain a horror from that. And you did proceed to survive the battle with Jethro, the deputy,
right, with only 3 points.
Yeah. So you so I think that's a humanity as well. And it sounds like you want to talk about how this will affect things going forward. So sure, the gain a foreboding. And now take a look at your horror, humanity, and foreboding. And if you have at least 3 of any of those, then you can make the associated revelation.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I have 1 of each.
Oh, because you had like a multiple of 3 earlier and then used it for...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I do have, well, I have 6 humanity, and
Oh, wow.
I can spend 3 foreboding.
That's a lot.
So you use a bunch of tags against us.
It's true.
So the foreboding, I'm going, since we did lose the paper mill to the sinkhole, I'm going to add the sinkhole as a new town tag.
Ooh. I like that.
Stuff from that.
And the first humanity I'm going to spend, since by now afterwards the students would have told the parents, hey, Mr. Early did get us to safety and told us go to school so that we were all safe. That'll remove the negative tag of not well liked in town, because I did save the students.
Cool.
Then the other one, I was going to do I'm working on overcoming my weaknesses. Since I do have this footage of the Fuchs monsters attacking us, I'm going to remove the discredited negative tag and add the not exactly sure how to word it, but kind of like the aliens guy from the History Channel, where he's not really discredited. He's just not trusted by the main community, but he is by the subculture.
Okay, so
Like among the conspiracy theorists and
conspiracy
crypto
theory.
and the cryptid zoologists, whatever they're
Conspiracy
scripted,
theory
yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like that. Yeah, I can see the documentary crew like sitting you up in front of a bookshelf in the library and recording you talking about the monsters.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My revelations actually were going to kind of play off of that as well in tandem. So in researching this idea of dark tourism, it's become Jubilation's new passion. I'm going to spend 3 humanity to gain the positive tag dark tourist, in that it is now he sees that as his calling, not so much running the tourism board for the town of Ravenswood, but going out into the world and seeing what is the truth of these different legends with extreme tourism. I also have the 3 horror, and I would be spending the horror to show that I am no longer interested in this the tourism board marking it off and gaining a related wild tag call to adventure. And I would like to invite along the way James, seeing as that he is so into uncovering the truth, that with my financial resources and your passion for cryptids, we can start our own documentary along with maybe my friend, Jose, the cameraman, traveling the world, seeing what is the truth behind these different local legends. And I also think maybe we could use a little bit of star power if there were any celebrities in town who might be interested in announcing or commenting on it as well.
I'd go along with that. And once he graduates, I would invite Brandon Morgan to come with us.
All right.
Because he is the handsome jock, not a, squeegee looking old teacher or 50-year-old ex screen queen. Even though she's probably still attractive, she is, wouldn't draw in the younger crowd like he would. So
I mean,
once he graduates, I'd invite him. Yeah. Well, once he graduates, I'll invite him along with us.
Sorry, we didn't really interact much. It seemed like you were having your own movie, Brian. Like you were like apart from us full time.
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like that the 3 characters had almost no real interaction unless it was antagonistic.
That's true. Yeah, it was definitely a different dynamic than what I'm used to.
And I would feel like some of the newer movies where it does cut in between the 3 different perspectives of the main characters.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, yeah, that all worked out well, I think.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. I certainly had a good time. Thank you all for playing.
Sure. And once it's up, just give me the link so I could share it with somebody.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll post links on the Discord once they're available.
Okay.
Speaking of which, let me check to make sure that automated posting of the first episode is there.
I completely forgot we were being recorded.
Well, I'm not finding it immediately. When I do, I'll post the links. All right. The end. Thank you all for playing.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Yeah,
again for running.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah.
meeting both of you.
See you
See ya later.
again.
Talk to all of you again later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.